Morning, everybody. It's a little after 6. Got sunrise behind me. It's cold, so I wanted to get moving as soon as possible to warm up rather than dig out all my warm clothes out of my bag, which is a huge pain in the butt. A couple of interesting little revelations. We had a couple of us complaining about our backs, and Rose mentioned, hey, put your heavier stuff lower in your backpack. And a couple of us realized we had been putting our food bag at the top of our backpack, because if you stop somewhere and you want a snack, it's easy to grab the food, but your food is one of your heaviest things. So 2 of us yesterday moved our food bag from the top of our pack to the middle, and suddenly our backs are doing so much better and our packs feel so much lighter. So that's kind of a neat little tip there. When you're organizing the weight in your pack, your food is something you can consider. So we want to make sure that we tell Pocket that, because Pocket almost quit because of his back. So hopefully he'll catch up to us today and we can let him know about that. I think Rose also texted him. If you saw my video from yesterday, we saw Pocket from across a ravine, which meant he was basically a day behind us. So so hopefully that'll help him out too. Also, I got my my trail name. It's Topless. If you look at my hat, on one of the hot days, I just pulled out my pocket knife and cut the top out of my hat with the scissors, and I love it. Actually, before this trip, it was a toss-up between this hat, which has like something that covers the back of your neck, and a visor. And I really wanted to take the visor, but this one was just a smarter choice and a lighter choice. And in the end, I just cut the top out and made it into practically a visor. So Topless. I did that like a week ago. But yesterday, I figured out, this hill's killing me. Yesterday, I figured out if I take my umbrella and instead of strapping it to my pack, normally we strap it like right here, if I just hold it in my hand, the wind can't get it as much, and I can always position it to directly block the sun. So I can keep my arms and my hands out of the sun at all times. So I just took my gloves off because I don't need them anymore. And I rolled my sleeves up because I don't need them anymore. And by the end of the day, I just took my shirt off. So I was hiking with no shirt and an umbrella. And with like no worry of getting sunburn. So again, I was topless. So Topless kind of became my trail name yesterday, which is kind of funny. Whew. I'm gonna pause. All right, a couple other small things. The group where we traveled with yesterday, Midnight, Kendall, Rose, and I, everyone's kind of like starting to talk about like foot pain and leg pain. So we decided to take yesterday off. We got to the water, figured that out, which was interesting. See my last video. And we took the rest of the day off. We set up camp early and tried to give everybody's legs a break. My legs are pretty good. I've been really lucky. My feet have not bothered me at all, but I am feeling a little bit of pressure on one of my legs. And I noticed yesterday about the end of the day that when I walk, my left foot is fairly straight and my right foot goes outward a little bit, and my right leg is the one that's bothering me. So I'm wondering if my gait might be just slightly messed up. And 120 miles later, actually it's 137 miles later, my right leg feels a little funny. So I'm working on straightening my toes when I walk today to see how that works. Rose and another guy, Kendall, they have high arches, and apparently your arches can fall on something like this when you're walking so much and it's painful. So they're both dealing with falling arches, or just arch support, I should say. Kendall had a really neat technique. He's at the middle of his foot is the widest, so he did his laces at the bottom of his shoe, skipped all the holes in the center, and then did the laces at the top of the shoe. So his shoes bulge out in the center to allow his feet more room, which is kind of neat. So it's kind of a cool hiker trick for anyone with high arches. So, all right, well, I just got back to the trail and I just found Rose. She's a little bit ahead of me, and it looks like she's got service because she's on her phone. So, where is it here? Oh, there's the trail. All right, more later. Oh yeah, one other interesting thing that happened yesterday was Midnight realized he didn't have enough food. Right now it's 8 miles to water, and then another 8 miles to civilization, which in this case is called Mary's Place, and it's like a restaurant, and from there you could hitch a ride to a town. And he realized he only had like 1 day of food, and he could really like bum rush today and do 16 miles or do some night hiking or something like that. And we did some talking with the group there, and it turned out Kendall had too much food. So we did like a food swap last night and got a little extra food to Midnight, and I actually realized I was a little short too. So Kendall gave me like an instant noodle and like a protein bar. And it's just kind of funny how, like, traveling with a group, you make friends, and a lot of times you'll get stranded somewhere together. Like, say for example, in the middle of the day when it's way too hot to hike, way too hot to hike in the desert, you'll get stranded in some shade with people and make friends. Or you'll be stranded at water like we were yesterday, where everyone's legs couldn't take it anymore, and the water's not the greatest, but we got water, and you just make friends, which is great, and you help each other out. So yeah, so Kendall shared some food. We gave Kendall some tent pegs because he was too short. Apparently he walked away and somehow miscounted and left 2 pegs behind somewhere. And just little stuff like that. It's been pretty funny how you just kind of run into people, and the trail provides, is what everyone says. I think we gave some ibuprofen to Kendall as well. So yeah, we're all just helping each other out, which is pretty cool. And another cute thing is just the trail grapevine. So for example, Kendall said that, oh, we got to be careful. I heard there's ticks out here. I heard someone found a tick yesterday. And we looked at him and we were like, that was us. Like, we didn't know you yesterday, but yesterday we spotted a tick just crawling across Rose's umbrella. And so, everyone gathered around because a lot of people hadn't seen a tick. A lot of people from California haven't seen a tick. Or from Texas, actually. Kendall's from Texas, hasn't seen a tick. Meanwhile, I grew up in New York on Long Island, and out on the end of the island, there's a lot of woods that I grew up in. And so ticks were just a thing. So as a kid, like, I don't know how many ticks I've seen, but I've seen a lot. So I'm not concerned. Rose is not concerned. Midnight's freaking out. And Kendall's freaking out. We're like, dude, guys, it's just a tick. It's no big deal. Just brush it off. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, but I think it's kind of funny how Kendall heard of it through the grapevine before he met us, and then he met us, and it's like, wait, that was us. There's a lot of that with the group behind us, who's Honey Sticks, Rooster, Armageddon, I think. Is it Armageddon? Yeah. And Turtle are all behind us, and apparently Kendall has met a bunch of them in Julian. So it's kind of neat that he's telling us stories about them that we haven't heard yet, which is kind of funny. And we don't know all the characters in the story, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's been pretty wild. And actually Midnight was the one who told us that Pocket, who John, is also not going to quit, even though we left him that morning and his friend was supposed to come and pick him up. By 5 p.m. Midnight ran into him, and he's like, no, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going. So it's kind of funny how the grapevine works out here. So, okay, I'll catch you guys later.